Hello everyone, Spider back in with our Marvel Content Chain video, and today I'm going over the top 5 worst skill champions in the game. So let's filter it to skill. And yeah, I'm basically going on vacation for a week, and I just wanted to make sure I could keep with content, so I decided to make this little top 5 worst characters video for each of the classes. And just because, you know, people always talk about the top 10 best characters in the game, or of each class. I'm talking about the top 5 worst, because I like to be different. And, you know, most people tell you who to rank up. I'm going to tell you who not to rank up. And starting off this list at number 5 of characters you probably shouldn't rank up, we're going to talk about Winter Soldier. So, Winter Soldier, you know, obviously he's a bad champion, but I think what keeps him, you know, higher on this list than, or, well, the highest on this list out of the other 4 champions on this list, is just that, like, what's it called? He has access to bleed, armor break, and incinerate, which gives him some like nice utility, being able to switch up his damage in case, like, you know, you got a character who's immune to a certain effect. That's pretty nice. Also, the Killmonger synergy makes him like a mini Star-Lord, which increases damage. But I mean, like, even on his own, he still's got like some nice versatility, and that really can't be said for the other characters. And yeah, I think that's basically it. He just has like some nice versatility with his damage that just the other champions don't really have, and I think I value that a lot more than the other characters, just because, you know, a lot of the other characters, like, yeah, no, if the opponent doesn't bleed or whatever, because most skill champions place bleeds, especially some of the older ones, which most of these are older. That's 10 where the worst champions tend to be older, just because they're so underdeveloped, and that was before like all kinds of crazy abilities were added. They're just so outdated. But yeah, the opponent can't bleed. Most times that skill champion is going to lose out on so much damage. So Winter Soldier being able to switch up his damage, super, super nice. But next up, we have one of the oldest characters in the game, and who used to be one of the best characters in the game. That is Black Widow. So why Black Widow was so good is because due to her signature ability, she could reduce the opponent's ability accuracy by so much. But she doesn't really do anything outside of reduce opponent's ability accuracy by just existing. And because the game has evolved so much, yeah, she just needs more, and she doesn't do any more. Really, the ability accuracy reduction was all she had, and back then, that was amazing. But then it got nerfed, and then the game evolved, and yeah, there's really just no reason to use Black Widow anymore. There's like a lot of other champions that can play stuff like concussions or disorients, and I'm pretty sure there's like masteries that help with reducing ability accuracy, so there's really no need for Black Widow anymore. Her like main niche, or like her main ability, just got outdated super quickly, and yeah, she just can't catch up, and like I said, she doesn't really do any damage or anything like that. She has an annoying evade, but that's more like something that comes into defense, and you can't reliably count on it anyway, so it's really a nothing factor. Next up, we have the Punisher, who I do not have as a 6-star. And yeah, I mean, Punisher, what to say about Punisher? He's got an indestructible when he's awakened. Sometimes when you kill him, or before you kill him, he goes indestructible sometimes. And yeah, he just got like some special attacks that just have a bunch of projectiles, and he can put bleeds on you. And like I was saying with Winter Soldier, if the opponent can't bleed, Punisher just loses out on so much damage. And aside from just like a lot of piercing with his special attacks, there's really nothing to worry about Punisher. You could just, I don't know, he's just nothing. He doesn't do anything. A lot of these really bad champions, again, just don't do anything. They released back then when they didn't have like barely any abilities. And yeah, Punisher is one of those characters, and yeah, he just kind of sucks. I mean, I think what saves him from being at the absolute worst is that he does have really annoying special attacks to evade, so he kind of has some nice defensive potential, especially with his awakened ability as well. If he does trigger the indestructible, that could be very nice, and it could also save you if you're using him on attack. So yeah, that's why Punisher kind of ranks at number 3 and not lower. Alright, coming in at the second worst, we got Daredevil. So yeah, Daredevil is another champion who, if we look at his abilities, he doesn't really got a whole lot. You know, you could see it all on like just one, like basically almost one screen. So that's definitely not good. But he does have a nice awakened ability where he can, if you have him maxed out, he can guarantee that he evades projectile attacks, which does make him pretty nice and usable in certain matchups. Like he was like the best counter to the Collector way back when, and he still is solid for that due to his awakened ability if you have him at max sig. But I mean, just because he's going to be good at one fight that's like was from ages ago, that's not going to really save him. And I mean, he's not the worst skilled character in the game. There's one below him in my opinion. But I mean, just like, yeah, Daredevil, he has some stuns on his special attacks, but there, again, he released at a time where there wasn't really any ramp or anything like that, and so there's really no way to increase his damage at all. And yeah, he's trash. But the worst skill champion in the game, in my opinion, is Moon Knight. Now, I love Moon Knight. He's such a cool character, but in this game, he is just trash. He's another skill champion that does a lot of damage with his bleeds, and if the opponent is bleed immune, Moon Knight just loses out on so much damage. And what personally makes me think of him as the worst skill champion in the game is that he's so reliant on the moon cycle. Like, if you're in the wrong moon cycle, he's going to have different abilities, which means he's not reliable. And the fact that, you know, he is only somewhat good on one of the days of the moon cycle, which I believe is the full moon, where he gains like both of the abilities from his waxing and waning. Like that's just not good champion design. Like, it'd be fine if it was like a nice little thing that changed throughout the, like, if he had like an actual good kit that was like consistent no matter what the moon phase is, and they had this like extra little thing on top of it, that would be pretty cool. But it shouldn't be the crux of his kit. And because he's so inconsistent, that's what makes him the worst skill champion in the game. And yeah, I think that makes sense. Even if you really like Moon Knight and you don't think he is the worst, that's what I think he's the worst. Because he's inconsistent and you can't reliably use him unless it's a certain moon cycle. So, yeah. Hopefully you understand that, even if you like Moon Knight. But if you don't, I understand. But that's just my opinion. And yeah. That is the ending of this little top 5 worst skill champions video. I'll be doing the other classes later on. And yeah, let me know what you think the top 5 worst skill champions in the game are in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and goodbye.